Hey, this is John from the Maine. You're watching So Fucking Cool.
All right, So Fucking Cool here with John from the Maine. How you doing, man?
I'm outstanding. I'm outstandingly full as well. Just ate lunch.
Perfect timing, then.
Yeah, man.
Relax.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just sinking.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I understand you guys just put a covers album out. Is that right?
We did at the start of Warped. Actually, the day Warped started. That's when it dropped. We did side A a couple months back, and then this is side B. We've got more current covers this time. We did like 90s stuff on the first one, and we did a Rihanna tune, we did a Drake tune, and a Bieber tune, and then a Shania Twain tune, just because.
Cool.
We love Shania, yeah.
How do you go about picking the tracks that you want to do?
On B, it was easier because we knew we wanted to kind of do something more relevant, something a bit more current, so that, you know, maybe for those that are completely unaware of what we're doing, they might, you know, Google it and one of our covers pops up and there we are. So it was not as easy because we're not as hip with what's going on right now.
Right.
But we know that Bieber's huge, we know Drake's huge, and we know Rihanna's huge. So yeah, that was it. When we approach doing a cover song, it's important to us that we try to reimagine it and not just photocopy what's already been produced. So I think for people that listen to them, they'll realize that they're a bit far from the actual sound and a little more, I guess, adapted to how we go about doing things.
Now, this ain't your first time doing covers, though. I remember years ago you guys had a big hit when you guys
so that was kind of what inspired doing this again. We did a song by Akon way back in the day. Yeah, called I Want to Love You. And we kind of like scrambled our brains to remember how we picked that song. And I think we picked that like 6 months after it was even popular.
Right.
You know, so it was like already losing its popularity, but like people were still kind of familiar with it. And I guess at this time now in 2016, attention spans are so that much shorter that it's like even, you know, Bitch Better Have My Money is already an old song by Rihanna. So it's you know, I think that was what truly inspired it. Was like, oh, look at what that did for us, and now let's try to do something similar.
Dude, I remember when that Akon track dropped and you guys did that. You'd hear it in the bar and shit, and you're like, who the fuck is this? This is way better than hearing this.
Just a bunch of white kids from Arizona, right?
Yeah, man. Very cool. Very cool. Now, you guys are going to keep on going, right? After this goes, I understand you're going to do a regular album.
Yeah. So I guess I've already begun writing a little bit. And I have a really tough time with riding on the road, especially on Warped Tour, because the days are so long and so hectic that it's hard to kind of find some sort of alone time away from 12 other smelly dudes. So once we get back home is when we'll really start to hunker down and try to write as a band. And then end of October comes around, we'll be recording. So we know we'll have an album done, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, an album done before the new year. And that means a 2017 release. So
cool, man.
Yeah, that's what's in the works.
It's got to be a different crowd out there though this year. You know what I mean? I mean, you got Sum 41, Charlotte. You know what I mean? Bands that some of these kids fucking had their hits. They weren't even born yet.
Absolutely. I think it's really inspiring for us to see that still works out here.
Yeah.
And you know, we toured with Good Charlotte back in the day. And when we first met them, we were, you know, in awe. These dudes that have been doing it for so long and so on such a massive scale were so humble and so, you know, kind. And I think that's the most inspiring thing to me, and I know to the rest of my band, is that it can be done for almost 20 years at such a huge scale, and you can still be humble and you can still be, you know, a kind person. So that's what is most exciting about this stuff. Newfound Glory, Sum 41, Good Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's radical.
I mean, and it's such a chance to see people that you really wouldn't get a chance to see out
Absolutely.
anymore. You know what I mean?
It's such an eclectic tour, and I think that's what's so attractive about it to us, is we don't necessarily know where we fit within the bill of bands, but we understand that people aren't necessarily coming here just for a specific band.
Right,
you know,
right.
It's different than a club tour where you know who's on the bill, you know who you're going to see. This is more of an opportunity to play for people that aren't necessarily there when you're in the club tour. So that's what's most alluring about this whole tour.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, and it gives you a chance to mix it up. There's fans that wouldn't come to see you.
Totally.
There's people that have never heard of you. There's
Absolutely.
young kids that are out there to hear the fucking whoever that just came out last week. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's an opportunity to make friends.
Yeah.
You know, we've made great friends that are on the tour, but it's always an opportunity to make a few more. You know, nobody said no to new friends. You know?
For sure. Now, for doing this as long as you have and watching the crowd, and especially having such a mix out there.
Yeah.
You see these kids with their phones and fucking around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that a big distraction to you?
No, it's not a distraction. I've actually kind of made it a point to say something about it in our set, but nothing too abrasive, because I feel like purchasing a ticket gives you the right to do whatever the hell you want to do in here, within the realms of legality, you know.
For sure.
But you know, I actually saw Steely Dan in Denver at Red Rocks, and they're one of my favorite bands, and they're like, you know, 60-something years old.
Oh, yeah, man.
So Walter Becker had said, you know, it was pouring rain, right? And it's like they keep moving their gear back, but they're still playing, and everybody's still staying. And there's 10,000 people, nobody's leaving. And he comes on the horn and he says, you know, this is incredible that nobody's even moved out there, you know, from their seats. You guys are not taking refuge. You're here.
Right.
So as long as you're here, we're here. And he said, you guys work your asses off to pay for a ticket to come see us play. You do whatever the hell you want to do here, you know, and that really resonated with me. So I'll say just kind of a quick be in the moment kind of deal, but other than that, it's about however you want to enjoy the experience is your right, you know.
Just don't be running around catching fucking Pokemon.
Yeah, that's a bit too much for me. Yeah, that makes me feel old, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I've seen kids already out there running around. Like, oh, there's a Squirtler.
I can't get behind that. Yeah. At least I guess that's making people walk around.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
Head down.
Now this year, man, it's been hard for musicians. I mean, there's been so many deaths and so many close to deaths. I mean, Joe Perry just had a heart attack 2 days ago.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It makes you think. Like you just mentioned Steely Dan. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
Really tells people that if you want to see a band, that you should definitely go out and buy a ticket and see them in person and shit.
Totally, and I think that's, you know, the people that really want to support the artists. I think if people were unaware that record sales are going down, you know, the real way you can support it is by showing up to a show if they're close, and you know, purchasing a ticket. Investing yourself a little bit in that band, you know. Again, with the attention spans being 5 seconds and lower, you know, it's important for us that we try to make a connection in person, you know, just as much online as it is in person. So, yeah, I think that it also is a testament to the fragility of not only your musical career but life in general. And I think that it should tell people to embrace right now, because there's so many times when you say there's tomorrow and there might not be.
Exactly.
You know, so I think that it's very, very important to be here while you're here, you know.
Definitely. And you just brought up a good point too, man, saying, you know, go ahead and invest in the ticket. These kids don't realize, like, you may have the best job in the world, you're a fucking rock star, but it is still a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, this is how you support your family, this is how you make your living. And now when they go ahead and download your CD or watch on YouTube or Spotify or whatever the fuck they're doing, you know what I mean? The money's not going to you anymore, so it's harder and harder for you to do what you love to do and still have a career. You know what I mean?
And I think that just, again, showing up to the show, buying a t-shirt, those are the tangible ways of actually, I guess truly funding the band, and funding the hopeful future of the band. But at the same token, I'm one that listens to music on Spotify as well, and occasionally, even now, I'll buy an album online. But I usually do the vinyl thing. Mm-hmm. I usually purchase the LP, and I think it's such an ever-changing and fast-changing world that we're a part of right now that it's for me, it's just an incredible feat that we're able to still do it, and we're so fortunate and humble.
And it's so great to see that you guys have been able to evolve the way you have.
Yeah.
Years, you know what I mean?
Gotta catch them all.
I mean, there were times.
Pokemon.
Yeah. There's times you guys had to go out and flyer and fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And we still do it on this tour here, which is, I think it. And I usually go to the merch table right when the gates open. The rest of my cats are out there selling our CDs and telling people what time we're playing. So it's not lost on us, the idea of working hard still.
Yeah, man.
It's important.
Some of these kids out there, they just think like, fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and tweet where I'm going to be at this time, and they're going to fucking run to me.
Totally.
They don't know what it was like. You
Absolutely,
know what I mean? And the time and the effort and shit.
And I think that's just a thing that we have to change with,
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a tough thing to be on top of everything, but it's it's important.
But it's still cool to see that you guys are out there doing that.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that for us is that's the real stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's not to say that somebody from Argentina that can't come to see us because of the distance isn't real. And that interaction online, it's not that isn't real, but for me, that handshake or that hug, that's the stuff that keeps me going. That's the stuff that tells me, all right, we're still doing something important to somebody, and that kind of keeps it fresh.
And for them, that's a memory. That's a story to tell. You know what I mean? Like, hey, not only did I see the Maine yesterday, and they were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I shook his hand, you know what I mean?
His sweaty hand.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, I was there, and he signed my shit.
Totally.
So people want to follow up, they want to know more, they want social media knowledge. Are you guys into it?
We are the Maine.net. We still have a .net, if you can believe that.
Does somebody own the .com?
I think so. But we're on all the deals, the Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Just Google the Maine, like the state, and we'll be, if not the USS Maine that sunk, we'll be like right underneath it.
Yeah, we'll be the one singing the fucking songs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool, man. All right, I appreciate your time.
I appreciate your time.
Look forward to the new album coming out.
Hell yeah.
Love the covers, dude.
Right on. Thank you.
Thank you.